Hey guys, what's up? I'm gonna be showing you guys how to peek and push like a Radiant on split. I'm playing Viper just because I want to emphasize that this is something that any agent can do. Um, this is something that any agent should do. It doesn't matter if you're not a duelist. You still need to learn how to push and peek if you want to be successful as you rank up, as you continue to rank up, and especially in higher ranks. Because not being able to, not knowing how to peek and not knowing how to push certain areas is not gonna fly once you hit a certain rank, and you're gonna need to know how to take fights because it's some ranks you can just rely on your teammates, but at some games you still will get carried, of course. But you know, it's gonna be less and less common. So we can start. Let's start at A actually, just because A B. Why not? We'll go A mid B. So this is going to be just like the ascent one. I'm going to show you guys exactly what you need to think about. So the barrier is like here, right here. And something you can do like this, make sure we're across, your crosshairs at head level. So one thing you can do is kind of just, you're only to jiggle, you can kind of just hold this, because basically what a lot of people like to do whenever they're defending, you might do this yourself, is push up like this and peek like right here. But often people won't expect you to be right there unless you have been doing that. So um, this is something you can do. I hold this for like I don't know, just a couple seconds to like 5 seconds. I don't stay here for like the whole round. It's kind of not my play style, but some people lurk here and sit the whole round. So keep that in mind. We can walk up. I would keep your crosshair here until you're like right here. And then this is the next spot people can be. So this is a common spot people like to sit. Playing like this. And if you don't peek here soon enough, they can actually cross like this. Hold an angle like this or hide in this corner. So if you're sitting here for too long, just know that they can be to the left side, although that's pretty rare, honestly. So you can jiggle like this. Again, still being cautious of right there. And this is where things can get dangerous. So I keep my crosshair like this, and then now you have to figure out how you're going to cross. I'll go ahead and ping all the spots enemies can be. I'll just ping it like this, actually. They can be screens, left or right side. They can be elbow. They can be close here. They can be behind this box. They can be up here. They can be close here. So knowing that, the first thing, hopefully your team, it's ideal to have a teammate holding ramp while you do this. Because obviously if you turn, your attention's not here, and then if someone in the enemy team sees you over here, someone's going to swing out from ramp if someone's playing there. And so basically the first thing I would jiggle is for like this, because they can be there. They can also be right here looking, but that's unlikely. They're more likely to be up there. And if they're not there, you can jiggle it like this, look for screens. And then elbow is quite a common one. And if you don't see anyone at this point, and you sit here for like 5 or 10 seconds, you can go ahead and walk across. And this is a very advantageous spot for you. More than likely, you probably won't be able to get all the way up here. But in some scenarios, you'll be able to get all the way up here through heaven without the enemy team realizing. So usually you will come into contact with someone, if not here and here, like deep within a main, like I just showed. So now what you have to be cautious for is again over here if you didn't peek soon enough, and then behind this box. You'll be able to see them though, and then you can jiggle so like this. So again, jiggling something I've talked about in the last video, just kind of doing this a couple times just to make sure that no one's holding an angle. And now I like to walk up like this. Now, depending on what character I'm playing, this is where it differ. I'm not going to go any farther, but if you are a duelist, it is really good to go down here. Obviously don't make noise. And then this spot right here is really good, and just wait. And if you're in this position, you can show like right here. It's also not bad to come up here like this and just kind of wait. You have to be careful of vents, of course, though. So, but yeah. And so if we're gonna push out from A main, again, just placing our crosshair on the spots they can be. They're most likely gonna be either one here, elbow, or sight, and then maybe heaven. So hopefully you have some smokes. Always clear like this, just to make sure that there's no one there. And then it's really important to clear right here and then clear this corner backside because people sit there and people sit behind there sometimes. So yeah, I'm not going to talk about pushing like all the way into spawn just so this applies to the most number of agents, because obviously duelists are the ones that are most likely to push into spawn in a scenario like that. So we'll go ahead and go to sewer. So you can, I like to start here a lot. People almost like never really like to start here. I know if people want to go mid, they'll start in market, and so that means that people on defense will expect you to be in market. So makes this spot even better to start. Although over there is also perfectly valid. So what I like to do here is jiggle like this, and this basically clears this angle right here, which someone can stand. I like to stand there sometimes, but also you kind of check the walkout like this. I'll show you. So it clears this right here. Someone that's holding like this, and it clears a duelist that might just be swinging far out. So yeah. And then if you don't see anyone, make sure you kind of jiggle slowly. Make sure there's no one like I said, swinging out all the way in the middle here. And then I can jiggle vents like this. And then what I like to do is kind of walk up. You can walk up on the left, but it's probably better to walk up on the left if you start market. So you can walk up on the right here, using this box as cover, and then kind of jiggle this spot because this is another very common spot for pretty much any ranked people to sit, especially like stage players. If there's a stage in this map, which there almost always is, then you can jiggle this. Important to clear this box right here. Again, making sure you're safe there. Usually you're gonna have a smoke here. So this is smoked, maybe say that, and then we'll see how to go heaven. So clear this corner, and then clear this corner. These two corners are the best corners you can play. So this corner right here is really good if you have a shorty or a shotgun. This corner over here, if you're on defense, is very good for any gun, because people often will just run up like this and not clear that corner. But if you are walking up, make sure you clear this corner on attack and this corner. And then now you can jiggle like this. You can clear this, but this is rare for most ranks. Sometimes you'll see Radiant players, and sometimes you'll see players right here that'll have their head be peeking up, because I know you're about to push for mail. Now, you can jiggle like this. Make sure they're on this box. Sometimes shotguns up here, and if there is, and you're first one in, there's a good chance you'll just end up dying. But you know, hopefully your team will trade you. And I jiggle out like this. They can be here, here, and they can be right here behind this box. And while you're doing this, make sure you're being cautious of events. So at this point, again, this is where probably as far as I'm really gonna want to go, but make sure you're clearing hell there, and then you know, all of sight is gonna be free game for the enemy to be sitting. So instead of going there to be heaven, let's talk about here. So again, making sure about this right here, and then say this maybe isn't smoked this time. Clear this, make sure they're not on the left side. This is kind of dangerous, but hopefully you have a teammate with you holding like one of these. And then you clear this corner, because this is also a really good spot that I like to sit. You catch people off guard a lot, but it's dangerous because you get like naded. So again, we're just going to be like jiggling this. I see I do it like 3 times, and then clears everything. Now the first thing I like to do here is look down, because like I said, these spots right here are actually almost never played, I would say, and this is probably my favorite spot on this map to sit. And same with right here. Although I will say it's more common for enemies to come from this side of vents. So yeah. And this works for attack or defense, because you can push in here and then start right here. And yeah, so from here it's all the same angles pushing onto A site, just from a slightly different position. And now we will talk about pushing from B main and maybe some of the defensive spots. So basically, you have this angle here at the start. On attack now, you can hold this. You can just sit here and wait. So you don't really need to jiggle it, because the enemy is going to have to peek you. If you see an enemy jiggling or peeking, you know that they're there. So yeah, I kind of like to walk up close on the right side like this. They can't be here unless you're coming late B main, but you can keep that in mind. So yeah, now I kind of jiggle right here first, because they can be up here. They can also be all the way up on top of this box, but you can't really jiggle that. You can just jiggle this right here. Someone that might be right here or right here. And also you can jiggle if they're on the ground there. So like this, and then jiggle back sight, and then jiggle default, and also they could be right here. Also, this is a really sneaky spot. People rarely sit there, but it's something I guess you could be aware of. So after you're comfortable with jiggling here, this is going to be a hard site to take, because again, they can be up there if you don't see them. You obviously don't have to worry about it, but they can be back here. They can be sitting sight somewhere. They can be back elbow, and then of course they can be hell or heaven. So if they're not peeking you and you're even walking up with your team, so far, then I would just jiggle heaven. See if there's anyone. Usually you're gonna find someone at this point, and if you don't, you can just continue to walk out like this. And now, you don't really have to worry about someone being CT, because if someone's sitting CT watching this angle, then they're kind of lost, because like all they need to be watching is B main. So you should be safe to just not worry too much about that. You can take a glance and then this corner, but usually people don't sit there. And then from here you can flank heaven. But this is assuming that you haven't made any noise yet. So if you haven't made noise and you've killed one, say you kill someone like right here that's peeking this at the start, you could just do this, but all while like running. And usually you can sage wall this or get a smoke heaven, and then now you're clearing everything. Backside default, obviously you can't see. If you don't see it in here, you don't have to worry about it. This box behind here is actually kind of sometimes, excuse me, common, and behind here's especially common. And then if you wanna, you can clear like this, make so they're not there. My favorite spot to set on retake, or to defend against a retake whenever the spike's down, is like this. People do clear hell, and they'll come out like this whenever they do it. So they'll come, and they'll just go like this. So you can be ready for that by placing your cursor here or here. You can tell them to shoot their head, as you see it here, if you have good reaction time. And on defense, you can hold like this. This is really good. So if you're on attack, make sure that you do clear after, because it's fair game for the enemy team. But just be careful of being peeked from those two spots. And yeah, so I guess we can talk about other spots on defense. You can sit like this, because if they're coming out from B main, then they can't spam through this. They can't expect you here. But oftentimes lower ranks, especially even like Diamond and Immortal, will not clear this, just because they're so focused on getting the spike down and clearing side out, and that's where they really expect the enemies to be. So if you're just outbranding them like this and you just wait, this is super good. You do have to be careful of heaven. You kind of always have to be careful of heaven though. So yeah, another spot. Like I said, if you are able to get up here, there's a few agents that can get up here. This is a god tier spot. I would also suggest playing back here. Playing around this whole area as well is just really good, because if they're coming out and you can't stop them, you obviously don't want to like peek out here if they're all running out. It's like a 1v4. So you can sit like this, wait for the spike, and then peek out. Kill. Usually they run back sight. You can kill one back sight if you're not in that spot, and then you can kill one here, and then maybe kill the planter, or just like kill one and then kill the planter, or just kill the planter, because it's a very sneaky spot. You can also sit like right here if you have a shorty, but the problem with this is that it will often just get walled, and then you can maybe get on top of the wall, but to be on top of the wall you have to be really close, so your gun will be poking out here, so it won't really work. But yeah, so we could talk about defense spots on A. I didn't really talk about that too much. So this spot's really good, just because you're on a high ground spot and you could just kill them really easily and then get away. This spot's really good, just not in the corner right here necessarily, but like out like this, and this is really solid. Also this spot right here is really sneaky and very solid. You can set elbow or screens, both completely viable options. And yeah, that's pretty much gonna sum up the video, honestly. This is how you want to take sites most efficiently, and how high ranked Radiant and high Immortal players will push. So if you guys have any other map requests for this, if you guys enjoy this video as much as the last one, leave a like, leave a comment. Also join the Discord server. I forgot to say at the beginning of the video, if you want more content like this, or if you want to make suggestions. Also if you want coaching. And yeah, see you guys later.